Papa, she shouted and splashed over to him as soon as she caught sight of him. Did you see? I can hold my breath for hours and hours now. I saw, Jack said immediately. Then he looked pointedly at his watch and saw her wrinkle her nose in reaction. Time to get ready for school. Already? She whined. Even her whine sounded like Riley when he was forced out of bed early. Sorry, babe. Remember, Robbie's taking you to school this morning, and he's already in the car. He added the last with a wink. He so isn't, she said, and stuck out her tongue. She didn't argue, though, and was out and giving Jack a damp hug before running into the main house for a shower and to get dressed. Riley floated to the edge of the pool and leaned on the side with his head on crossed arms. Morning, he said. Where's my kiss? Jack shrugged and pointed to his lips. Up here on the side of the pool like every other time you ask. Damn it, Jack, one day you'll get close enough, and I'll pull you into this pool with me. We have a perfectly good shower, you know, Jack replied. They exchanged the same words every morning, and the familiarity of them made him smile. Riley wrinkled his nose, and for a second he looked exactly like Haley, or rather, Haley looked like him. Then he added something new to the morning exchange. I was thinking. Always a bad thing, Jack smirked. Riley ignored him. We should lock all the doors and make love in the water. Jack sat upright on the chair. We don't have the time, he said quickly. Thank God his brain was thinking better than his cock, which was already showing definite interest in getting near Riley in the pool. Not today. Riley heaved himself up and out of the water in a smooth movement, then shook his hair like a shaggy dog. Jack jumped when splatters of water hit his skin. Then he inhaled sharply as Riley took the few steps closer to him. I'd want to take it slow and take my time bringing you to the edge so many times you're begging me. He was thick and erect, and the tight swim shorts left nothing to the imagination. Water sheeted down 6'4" of toned, muscled perfection, and Jack's jeans were suddenly the tightest they'd ever been. Over 3 years, and he still couldn't get enough of the man who was the other half of him. Geez, Riley, Jack breathed. We only have a few minutes, and we need to get Haley. Riley stopped right in front of him and placed his hands on his hips. Jack wriggled in the seat, and then in a smooth move he stood and had semi-naked Riley in his arms. There was only so much temptation he could take before his iron will snapped like brittle candy. They kissed hard and fast, and Riley walked them back until Jack felt the door handle against his ass. Maybe they couldn't go slow, but they could sure get each other off in the space of a few minutes. Effectively blocking the only exit apart from the fire door, no one could accidentally come in and find them. No one would know what they were doing. They could kiss, and Jack could slip a hand into Riley's shorts as easy as anything. As soon as his fingers pushed past the cotton and closed around Riley's hard cock, he sighed into the kiss. He wanted this so badly. Riley was his addiction, and every day, every hour, every goddamned minute, he wanted to connect with him. Riley used a knee to encourage Jack to spread his legs a little, then shuffled to slouch a little, just enough so that when Riley pulled at buttons and cotton, he would have Jack's cock rubbing against his own. Jack smacked his head back against the wall and whimpered with a curse on his lips. Riley took immediate advantage. He locked his lips to Jack's throat and began to bite a path of kisses and touches from throat to chin, and then back to claim Jack's lips again. I love you, he whispered before deepening the kiss. Jack slipped his other hand between them and yanked at the cotton that pressed into his fingers. Finally, he could move his hand under to gently play with Riley's balls as they moved against each other. Riley's breathing hitched, and he let out his own whimper at the touch. They knew each other so well, which buttons to press, where to touch, and all too soon Riley was spilling over Jack's hand with Jack not long after. They stood in the embrace against the wall for a few seconds before they separated. Riley glanced down at his hand and grimaced. He looked over his shoulder at his pristine pool, his pride and joy, then back at his hand. Maybe we should stick to the barn, he said. Jack couldn't help but laugh. Guess no sex in the pool after all, then, he said.